All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this very special live stream tonight that I know that you've all been waiting for. I have been waiting for so excitedly. I feel like a little kid. Just before I got in, I was like, okay, I gotta breathe, gotta breathe. Um, we are revealing the secret mentor for the Invisible event tonight. And if it is your first time here, it is your first time catching me live, please say hello and let me know that you're here watching. If you're here catching up because you're already in the Invisible event, say hello. I would love to know. And if you're watching the replay, drop hashtag replay down below and let me know that you're here. I would love to see you and say hello. And so, if you don't already know, this month, myself and another incredible mentor are running a very special event that we're calling the Invisible Event. We're running it as a secret offer or a mystery offer, which means that it launched with almost no details. Just a little talk, a little live stream, a little conversation about the context. So, what we've talked about so far is really diving into the power of visibility and us being seen and really claiming our star power and being able to shine and really let ourselves be seen and received in such a beautiful way. And also the power of our value, deeply connecting to our value. And I talked about on one of my live streams that it's our star frequency and us shining our light and claiming that energy that gets us in the room, and then it's us and our power and our value that really gets us paid and really gets us seen and connected at that level. And so I'm so excited to be bringing you this event. And up till now, there have been no details revealed other than the dates, which is the 28th and 29th, I believe the last Saturday and Sunday in September from noon until 6 p.m. And we are now tonight revealing the other mentor, which I'm so excited about. This person is such a dear friend of mine, is so incredible, and we have walked together through a number of seasons of life now. He is someone, I just gave away something. He is someone that to me just is so connected to the celebrity frequency. He is so connected to being seen and creativity and kind of like this authentic, beautiful expression of self. I know that for myself, when we first met, he was someone who was such an activator for me. He brought out so much in me. He really helped me connect to my unique expression of self. He really helped me a lot in my journey. We've walked together, we've helped each other a lot. And he is someone who I have watched constantly choose love, which is something that's incredibly important to me. It's become kind of like the North Star for friendships with me. People that constantly choose love, constantly come back to the best version of themselves and kindness and love and integrity and highest good for all when things are unfolding in life and when we're making decisions in life and in business. And we are so aligned. It's so funny. Every time we get on the phone, we talk about something. We've been having our separate journeys, but then we come together and we're like, we're so aligned. This is so aligned. Everything is unfolding together. And so I am thrilled to be partnering with this mentor to bring you this very, very special event. And I am so excited to introduce to you Mr. Chris Jacob.
Hi. Oh my God, that was such a cool reveal. I love that. Hi, Michael. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I am just so excited. Thank you for that beautiful introduction. It really felt like I felt the frequency of that. So thank you so much.
So I know some people in my audience will know you very well. You've been on my podcast. We've collaborated a little bit in the past, but for the people that don't know you, can you introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, everybody. I am just again honored to share the space with you, co-create with you. You and I have had a few intimate experiences like with our co-clients over this past year, and we've done intimate immersions, but this is more of our first like public like shebang. Like, so I'm really excited about that. My name's Chris. I I will say that for me, I'm a multi hyphenate. I'm an entrepreneur, an activist, artist, and an empowerment mentor. And you know, one of the things you talked about is the star frequency and just being really tapped into that space. Over the last 15 plus years, I have had a very successful marketing and branding studio that has worked with tons of celebrities and people in the entertainment space, top Fortune 50 brands. And I myself was named by Forbes as one of the top entrepreneurs in the country 3 years ago. So yeah, I'm just excited to be here, and to share my unique blend of uh, what I'm calling spiritual branding. It's really like branding, but on a deeper level of tapping into the authentic you. And that's really what we're here to do, right? Is as you said earlier, activators, like just as we come into deeper harmony with our soul's sacred blueprint, I feel like that is so infectious. When you see somebody who's in harmonic alignment with who they are called to be and unapologetically so, like that's where you're in the miracle zone. You're just living, breathing embodiment of the divine. And so I love to take what I've learned and developed as an entrepreneur on a material level, but really infuse that with all of the spiritual technology as well.
I love it so much. And when you say too that there's like levels of what you're talking about, I know I've seen that in clients where it's kind of like we feel like we're in this authentic expression or allowing ourselves to be seen, and then there's like a whole other level that we break through, right? And I find, I don't know if you've had the same experience, that when that happens, it's almost like, oh wait, it gets to be this easy. Like I get to
Oh
just be
yeah.
me to this deeper degree. Like all these places that I felt like I was pushing or creating or like adjusting actually get to fall away. And I actually get to, it comes through me. It comes through me. And it's like, as I'm talking about this, I'm thinking almost of like a creative process when we're truly, master creatives and it's just coming through us. Our authenticity is so similar. Would you
Oh
agree?
yes, absolutely. I feel like authenticity, we talk about just like the frequency of authenticity, and as you embody that, and like you said, there's levels of embodiment, right? But as you go deeper and deeper, I truly believe that you become the portal. You become the portal of the way. Oh,
You're back.
did
I
it?
think it's good.
Hello.
Yeah. Oh, I think Chris just dropped off for a second. Nothing like a little bit of tech while we're in the middle of this. So, what else can? Oh, here he is. He's back already. I was like, what am I gonna have to go into?
Hi.
Okay, we're
Oh my
back. We're
God.
back.
We're back. We're back. Okay, live TV. Yeah, okay, so what I was saying was that when you tap into your authentic power, you yourself become the portal. You become the portal through which the divine can shine through you. And so, to your point, at these deeper levels of embodiment, the creation then magnifies. And so, for me, I think that that's where people really have to get real honest with like, what is the expression? Uh, what's the container of expression that's coming through? And what you and I do, and I think like what we're going to do together is really like create a field in which people feel empowered to go there. I think that that's where a lot of people, the limited mind will tell themselves, well, I can't be that visible, or I can't grow a following, or I can't, have a personal brand and express that like without feeling any sort of distortion. And like what we do is like we essentially help people melt away any distortion around visibility. I call it sacred fame, and using and leveraging and harnessing impact and influence towards that, as you said, that love consciousness, that impact on the planet, which many of us, the only way in which the divine God can actually move through us is it through our fullest expression of who we are here to be.
I love that you mentioned the personal brand piece too, because this is something I've been focusing on a lot recently. And I don't know what it was. I had this realization recently where it hit me, and I was just like, oh, the personal brand, like it really is me. It really is me expressed. And I think that there's so much. I mean, I focus a lot, obviously, on like money and success stuff and everything that comes up energetically unconsciously, but it's so similar with our brand, like that we're coated with so many pieces and so many fragments that we think we have to be, or like we're like neutralizing ourselves over here and then exaggerating ourselves over there. And like you said, when I feel like we can come into this coherence with this deep truth of who we are and allow it to be not just expressed for ourselves and personally, but expressed in our brand. It almost feels like pressed into our personal brand and shared on the internet and shared with people. And I think when people that we know can see our stuff and they go, that's you. It's like the frequency of who you are doesn't change when you're talking to one person or 10 people or 100,000 people or 100,000 people, right? And it's the same. And I think something just happens when you unlock that. It's just like, it's magic, really.
I honestly think, and people that may have already signed up for the event, like their consciousness already knew that this is where they're
They did.
moving towards. And like, I think that people that also will continue to join, they understand that because there's that deep sacred calling inside them to release their inspiration and healing to the masses. How do they do that? They create a container for that, which I believe the brand itself is the transmission. The brand itself is the frequency. When you think of brands like Chanel or Apple or Nike or whatever, they are disseminating some level of creative truth and power to empower and to influence and to inspire others. And so I, in the work that we do and we create together individually, I believe that developing your brand is an act of self-love because so many of us have repressed and suppressed that deep desire within ourselves to uplift and empower ourselves to be the truth teller, to be the vessel. And so I think that's why a lot of us have even come into the space of coaching and self-development so that we can support and uplift others. But like I said, when you develop your own personal brand, that is your act of self-love. And then, as we know in manifestation, you're going to really experience the fullness of your life experience, knowing that you're carrying your mission on you, in your aura, in your field. Like it's that's what we're going to be talking about in this event. So I'm so excited.
I love that you shared that so much. It's so funny because I just wrote a module for our event today, and
Oh my
so it's
God,
so
yeah.
aligned with what you just said. I was trying so hard not to share too much, but yeah, I love this. I love this so much. So if you don't know, the Invisible event is running right now. The final price for this event will be $1,100, but right now, as we're still in the process of revealing all of the surprises, so Chris is today's surprise, it is available for $440. So if you get in now, you can get it for $440. This 2-day immersive event with myself and Chris. If you want more context, I did 2 other live streams already on this talking about it. But like he said, it really is about this excitement and this connection of this knowing that it's just like, I know. And that's the thing is, all of the I know that we set up the field and the energy right, because all of the people that jumped in, they were like, I didn't even watch the whole video. I just felt it and I felt the energy and I was like, I'm in. I got a few messages from people that were just like, I don't really know what I signed up for, but I'm so excited about it. And I was like, that's perfect. That's perfect. Right. That's the energy. And we don't want you to feel pressured at all. If it feels like a FOMO thing or if it feels like pressure, that's just not the vibe. So don't buy it if it doesn't feel good, if it doesn't feel aligned. You can also wait until there's more information to know exactly what it is. Of course, the price will go up at that point. Right now it's 440 and it will eventually be $1,100. I will say as well, just because I always get messages about this, and I forgot to say this, that we really do honor that price. Like when that price goes up, that's it. because obviously people are buying it at each price point, and it wouldn't be in integrity for us to offer a different price to someone after it's changed. So I know sometimes you might be seeing this video later and it might have already gone up, or you might have seen the first video and then been like, oh, I just saw the first video now. But unfortunately, we can't make any exceptions. Whatever the price is on the page, that is the price that we honor, just to keep the entire event and everything all in an energetic integrity. But it is available, and we are so excited to welcome you in. I know there's a number of amazing people that have already jumped in. We've already talked about this. We can already feel the energy of the container kind of compounding. So it's really exciting. And what else? What else should we share, Chris?
I mean, I think what I'm just excited about, and when Michael, you and I were like shooting out that rocket into the field of like what of our creation, for me, it's really just the excitement of right now. I kept calling them the leaders of the new earth, right? And like,
Yeah.
um, and the fact that many of us, whether we're fully conscious of it, whether we've claimed it, or whether it's still just stirring inside of our souls, there's this undeniable yearning and purpose and mission for us to move forward and to help facilitate and navigate what this new expression of consciousness needs to look like in this awakening, right? And so in order for us to truly fully live out the purpose that we desire on the material level, that expression might look like you're releasing your music, or you're speaking on stages, or you're doing group healings at retreats, or you're doing something that brings you into like onto the battlefield, if you will. And
Yeah.
so I'm really excited because the people that I've been connecting with within your audience, and I know like how I've been talking to with my own, is that it's just pattern recognition. We all see in each other, and we see this co-collective, co-creative, like collective awakening and summoning in all of us to either develop our own individual brands, but also on some level eventize like how we are co-creating and collaborating with each other. And so I feel like if there's that part of you that like believes that there's this truth inside of you that needs to come out through some medium, right? Whether it's like that book that's coming through you, or speaking, or activating a brand, whatever it might be, then I think that this is partly yours, because there's this that's really what we're talking about, but from the spiritual, but also on some level, some of the tangible ways in which not only creating your container for your brand is important for you, but it's actually that energy field that holds the blessings, because people are always like, oh, I want to manifest this thing, I want to create this thing, but it's actually you are transforming and you're stepping into the fuller version of yourself, which actually allows you to be a match for all of those expanded experiences that you desire.
I love it. I love so much about what you said about kind of like the purpose stuff and the brand too. I'm so big on like so much of what we want in life is activated by opening and allowing our purpose to move through us and not denying what that actually is. Like sometimes when we're seeking material things, or like there's a lot of distractions that can come, but when we really connect that purpose and let ourselves be expanded by it, so many doors open. And and part of your purpose is not hiding. And I know that there's a lot
Mm.
of like coaches and mentors and healers and leaders that have already signed up, and that's something that I find that people have who have a really pure and really good hearted mission will tend to do. Sometimes it's like, I'm here to do this thing, but it's about you, it's not about me, it's not about me. It's like the right. And there's almost like a resistance or like an energetic wedge between actually creating that personal brand and really owning it. But that is such a big part of what lights us up to our people and our opportunities. And I think of it like it's like our it's like the coloring of the frequency that moves through us, right? Like it's like my personal brand being so developed and clear and like coherent is me. It's like it allows the micro frequency to move through me and be seen as you tune really into the crisp frequency and clarify what that is. It allows that to move through you and for you to be seen. And I found, I'd be curious to know if you find this with your celebrity clients as well. um but that the more pure and clear and authentic and true that frequency has been, the more aligned the client's opportunities and like connections that I've made in my life have been. It's like as there's less distortion, as it's less affected, it's more pure. It becomes more and more of this. It's such an easy energetic match. And I find even now, I have like dream clients coming in all the time, and it's so easy. I remember when it used to be so hard, and I feel like it gets so easy now. And people are like, "Oh, I just knew it was you," or I'll get a referral. I'll be like, "Oh, I just like this is this person," and you can feel
Mm-hmm.
that there. It's
Yeah.
like clean energetically somehow. You know?
Yeah, because there's no like convincing at that point, right? It's like
Yes.
you're a match for this, for the reciprocity of energetic exchange and co-creation, or not. We're just there's no judgment. And so I 100% agree with that part of that sentiment for sure, is that the we're tightening. I call them micro alignments, but we're just refining our frequency to become more and more authentic and more embodied in our truth. And the 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 level of impact, influence, and abundance that you want vibrationally matched to that is how unencumbered are you, how like you said, pure, how clean, how fluid are you to be able to disseminate that truth. And again, there's no judgment on this. I think we're all at different levels and stages, but when you come into the field of somebody who is activated, who's lit up or turned on
Yeah.
from whatever they are here to express, like that's where you see those celebrities, on a higher level, where you're like, oh wow, they have this magnetic frequency. Essentially they've been liberated. And I think that the work that we're doing is a bit of spiritual liberation, right? Because we're just melting away the distortion, we're just melting away the coding, all of the programming that is telling us, oh, I need to be a lesser version of myself in order to be safe. Like, I need to be a lesser version of myself in order to make money, or in order to have a partner, whatever that might be. That's
Yeah.
not the field that we're playing in, is that we're not playing small, because any of the people that are here to make a big impact on the planet, they can't be the small version of themselves. They have to be that highest timeline version, right?
This is gonna be so good. Like I
Oh, I'm so
already am
excited.
vibing with
Yes.
what we're talking about.
And
It.
and that's the thing, it's like the juiciness of like the people that then come to co-create. I call it the infinite playground of creation.
Yeah.
It's the Wizard of Oz effect. It's that like Dorothy, she goes to the Wizard of Oz, but then she becomes friends with the Scarecrow and the Tin Man and the Lion. And when you are at a different frequency level, you then start to come and play in the field of, as you were saying, the level of clients that then just come in. Like in the past, I've worked with Marianne Williamson. I'm currently working on Eckhart Tolle's team. Like as a strategist, as somebody who's worked on like the branding side of this industry, and then also like with celebrities like the Kardashians and people like that, what I find is that like people that are well intentioned and sort of, I guess what's the word? It's there's no waffling, there's no duplicity when it comes to their intention. They know why they're here. And I think that that's, if there's any shift to make in terms of like being in integrity and claiming your purpose and your brand, that's what this activation is going to do, based on like whatever we're going to be talking about, but also through the exercises of embodiment. It's on one level training your nervous system to be safe, to be seen, but on a deeper level, it's like connecting to your soul's blueprint. That's like you're already it. It's done. Like you are here to be at that level. There is no separation between you and someone with millions of followers, because in the truth of who you are, when you come to that, you're just one with that. And that's where the miracles happen, right?
Oh my God. There's going to be so many miracles happening. I already feel connected to the energy. I was like, I want to do the embodiment exercises now. It's going to be so,
Yes.
it's going to be so good. And I feel like when you talked about the magnetism, I feel like that's exactly how we met. I remember shifting into this deeper level of truth. And it was like I had cast off this therapist cast that I was really hiding in for a long time. And I remember I had just started to really bring more of my artistry and the creativity into my brand. And then you just like we just became in resonance and you found me like
Mhm.
across the internet. And I remember you being like, hey, you're meant to like work with celebrities and you have the celebrity frequency. And I remember when we connected and I remember how powerful it was to have that reflected back. And also how much I feel like you have a code for that because obviously you are around all of these incredible celebrities, incredible people all the time, and there's like something in your energy that gets like it's there's a transmission that comes through that
Yeah.
I've received again and again from you, which I feel like is really magical.
I think what you're speaking on and what I've seen is that if you are, let's just say, a part of like this elite frequency class, right? Whether you're a celebrity, a professional athlete, a speaker, whatever, right? What happens is that your natural frequency standard is to only work with the best. You are the best, and that's already integrated into your identity. So you're calling in people that they themselves already see that. Like I always say this with the Kardashians is that their glam team becomes celebrities because they are working with the best artists and the best, you know, glam and hair and all these people, and so they themselves are like only going to be a frequency match to that the people that are at the top of their field, right? And so naturally for me, you know, going to the number one media school in the world, like, and having being a professor in an MBA program and being a professor, I've had many lives being a professor in
I
a,
know,
you
I
know,
love it.
creative advertising program. I just was groomed in the sense of knowing, okay, I'm the best at what I do. And that sort of naturally just put out a light flare to attract people that also want that, who they just so happen to be the top of their field, whether they're a public figure or whatever. And so I think that that's even part of what this owning is like whatever you might be or however your divine expression looks like in this material experience at the moment, to allow yourself to position yourself there. I say without God, without the divine, it's all about performance, but with the divine, with spirituality, with God, it's about position. And so positioning yourself there in
Mm.
consciousness in your own alignment is then what will reflect back to you. So, yeah, to your point about just some people have that audacity to claim in consciousness that they're the best. And again, it might not feel congruent at first, but the more that they step into that and they practice and they, you know, do the speaking and do the like, you know, all the things, it's just, yeah, you are that. That's who you're meant to be.
Yeah, I love that so much. It's funny because I remember us having this conversation a year ago for the first time, and it's really interesting to hear you talk about this again because it's almost like I have a new understanding of some of
Yeah.
these things, and it's making me reflect on the last year. And I love that you're talking about that frequency of the best because that is something like I really have been in my work really calibrating to the frequency of luxury as well, like with my brand and energetically. And that's one of the things, right? It's like luxury is the best and luxury doesn't compare and it has this unique identity and it doesn't chase. It's like we know you'll be back because we know how good we are. Like that's the vibe, right? And I think there's this thing like with what you're saying about that too. And it's like I feel like the positioning is the strategy piece and maybe the piece that exists in the masculine, but I feel like there's also this energetic piece of allowing ourselves to actually be as good as we are.
Mm,
Like allowing ourselves to be as good as we are in all of the ways. And I notice this thing that people do where sometimes we'll like and I know that it's all unconscious because we have this such strong unconscious programming to belong, but we will numb certain parts of ourselves where we have an edge in order to like fit in, and we'll do it unconsciously.
Yeah,
Like some people will call this self-sabotage, but it's like actually allowing, like if you have an unfair advantage or if you have like this edge or that edge, to just let yourself just be all that you are, as excellent as you are, as good as you are, as beautiful as you are, as loving as you are, as like all the things that you are. And like that energy is like part of the blueprint for your personal brand. Would you agree?
absolutely. Yes, and I to your point, adding that onto that is inherently, which again, it's part of the illusion, but we see success as a separator, right? We see
Yeah.
like other the subconscious fears that are sometimes in us to say, well, if I become successful, then I'm separating myself. On the external level, there is some inherent truth in that, but I think what you're also speaking on is that what I was saying before. It's like when you come into your mystical version, but yes, on some level, some things fall out of your field. But like, what is now available to you? Like, that's the
Oof.
exciting part. Like, I feel like for me, just even having a career, 15 plus years like, in media, working in corporate companies, like, the more free I felt, the more money, the more abundance, the more prosperity I was able to call in, because it was just really a, um, a reflection of how open, like I said, I used the word before, how unencumbered, how free are you to feel like who you are here to be. And I think that there's a lot of people like that can do it in bondage, and they can do it in struggle, and they can do it in strife, but I truly feel that like if you at all feel like you're a leader in this new earth, this new paradigm, that's not the way that we're here to model. We're here to model, standing in our authentic power, and then being the trailblaze path in which like we call others in to also be in that space, right? And to be in that their own power as well.
Yeah. Oh my God. So good. I already feel an activation. I'm gonna be like,
Yeah,
I'm just already
I'm
activated from
so
this talk.
excited. Yes.
Artemis is here. She's from my mastermind. She says,
Oh my God.
allowing it. Yes. So excited. Claire is here too. If you're here watching with us live right now, say hello. If you have any questions for Chris or anything else, just drop us a line, say hello. If you need the link, you can go ahead and DM me or leave a comment and I will send you the link. The link is also in my bio for the Invisible event. Again, it will be $1,100 final price, but right now it's available for $440 as we continue to reveal more of the information and compound the energy. And so if you just feel like it's a yes and you know that you need to be in the room, then we invite you to come and play with us in the magic. I literally can feel in my body how good it's going to be already. Like this is just a random Monday night live stream and we've got
I know, right?
a whole 2 days, a whole 2 days together. And I can't wait to see everything that comes up and comes through. I'm so excited.
Yes, me too. I'm excited too because honestly, people like you, like it's what is this whole journey is all about, to be quite honest, is like when we're co-creating together, when we're building a community together, like I I having worked with people at the top of their field, again, at that highest level, the distortion isn't there. There might be these
Hmm.
external projections of what we think, the stigma is around people who are famous, but at that level, you are in your overflow. You actually want more people to be activated and to be inspired and to become more of themselves. And so I find that to be this like radical permission that you might be that person to give radical permission to all the people that are in the queue ready to follow you and to hear your truth. And so um, partly what we'll be talking about is not only just like activating your authentic power, creating a sacred brand, but also creating that legacy from a place of soul alignment. I think that t- that is the what's the word? It's that existential urge that we can't shake even if we try. Like I find that having conversations with spiritually activated leaders, like on this planet, whether they're in business, whether they're in media, whatever they're in, there is that place within them that they're like, no, I have an energetic signature that I'm here to imprint and to impress on consciousness and this experience. And how do I do so? Who do I play with? Who do I create with in order to do that in the fullest version? That's what this game is about. And yeah, it is a game and it's fun, you know? So
So good. Artemis says, I'm excited for watching this energy unfold. I can feel it already here. So good. So good.
yes.
All right. Amazing. Any final words, Chris? All right. Artemis says the existential urge to leave an interdependence legacy of integrity. Yes.
That's
Yes.
it. That's it.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You guys are
Like,
going to love each other.
it's
Just
one of
wait.
these things where it's like we're not even selling at this point because it's like if you know, you know. You're just called. And so you're just gonna naturally harmonize with other people. And I find that being in your energy, being in the people that like are again a frequency match, that in it itself is it's the embodied permission slip we get from each other. So I truly
Yeah.
believe like because we are being very intentional of how we're messaging out and setting intentions around who's coming in and how we are going to create around this and um, build the exercises, the embodiment practice, and then just also the transmissions. That's yeah, it's going to be for you. It's for you, and we're all here for that, you know. So
Amazing. Amazing. I'm so excited. I'm like giddy now. I was already giddy before this call. Now I'm
oh
going to
my
have to go
god,
do something
yes,
in
me
ground
too.
again.
It's really yeah, this is gonna be so fun. And we have so many surprises that like we'll
Yeah.
start
I know
unveiling.
I've been like trying to not
Yeah,
spill
just
any of them. I'm always like, don't say too much this week.
yes. So yes, please join us if it feels inspired for you. And yeah, we'll be going live this week as well with Michael on my channel. And so I can't wait.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us